Okay, let's start again, bro. In this day and age, there's a very high likelihood that you feel misplaced. You feel like you have no friends. You feel like you don't belong anywhere. I completely understand. There are many people who feel like that. And the irony of it is that there's so many people who feel like that, but there are very few people who do anything about it. And the truth is, life without friends is not an easy life. It's a difficult life, but it can be peaceful. Life without friends teaches you a lot about yourself. You see, it's hard. I've gone through periods in my life where I had no friends. There was this period in 10th grade where I was studying so hard. I was chasing a certain goal, and I was just focusing on what I wanted to do, focusing on developing myself and gaining academic advancement, so to speak. I was trying to improve, trying to be better, trying to push myself, and that was in 10th grade. And I remember during that year, I had little to no friends. Like, my life was dealing with things at home, dealing with problems with, relational problems, and doing academics. That was it. Every day. That was it. It was painful. It was probably one of the most painful years of my entire life so far. It was very difficult. And what made it difficult was the way I saw it, right? My mental state, or the way I thought about it. I just felt death on the inside. I felt empty inside. It's weird because I felt empty and utterly wounded, in my mind. And that's what loneliness can do to you. Having no friends can do that to you. Because the truth is, we are social creatures. Human beings are social creatures. We're meant to be in communities. We're meant to have friends. We're meant to have people we can relate to. The reason we have mouths to speak is so we can communicate, right? So there's that intrinsic nature, there's that intrinsic desire to have companionship and friendship. And so I understand the pain that you feel right now. I understand the loneliness that you feel. It's hard. It's difficult. But it's also necessary. I feel like every man, every woman, at some point in their life must and has and will go through a bout of painfulness. Right? You will go through a period of loneliness. Right? I said painfulness? Oh my gosh. Loneliness. Right? We're talking about loneliness. Having no friends. But what that teaches you is that you can do it alone. You can. It doesn't mean it's easy, it doesn't mean it's optimal, but it's possible. When you are alone and you have no friends, you begin to understand the type of friends you want. You begin to see the things in the people you call your friends that really annoy you, the things that you can't stand, the things that don't mesh well with your character. You begin to understand that more fully. And then you begin to know yourself through that, right? And again, introspection flourishes in an environment where you have no friends, so to speak. And in reality, most of the people we call our friends are just acquaintances. That's the sad truth. How many years do you know these people for? Is it friendships of utility? Right? Is it a friendship where it's one-sided completely? Where you know the other person is using you, but you enjoy their company, so you try to keep them around? Is it that type of friendship? Is it the friendship where you are constantly demeaned by the person underhandedly, backhandedly, but you accept it because they're the only person who's willing to talk to you? Is that the type of friendship? If so, you'd be better off alone. It's difficult to accept that, but it's true. I was watching this video the other day where Muhammad Ali was talking about the power of friendship. And he said friendship is rarer than anything in this world, and it's more valuable than silver and gold, right? He said when you pray, you should pray for real, true friends. That is so, so true, because friends, people who share the same soul as you, so to speak, are very rare. Some people will die without ever experiencing that. That's how rare it is. And that sounds sad and painful and terrible, but you know what I mean. You understand exactly what I mean. It might be painful to admit, but it's true. And so when you look at life like that and you understand that, listen, friendship is not something that's haphazard. It's not cheap, right? It's valuable. It takes years to build. Time spent, effort spent. You have to put in the work to build that friendship, right? It takes thought, effort. That's what it takes. And how many people are willing to do that? Are the people you surround yourself with willing to do that? That's one thing I've kind of had to ask myself, especially in high school. You know, I had to reevaluate my friend group. And I know you've heard that 1,000 times. It's so cliche. But the thing about things that are cliche is that they're generally true. They're generally true. But what makes them cliche is that we fail to follow what we know to be true. And so it annoys us when we hear it again and again and again and again and again. That's what it means for something to be cliche. Quite often. So life without friends isn't an easy life. I'm still trying to navigate it. Not saying that I don't have friends. I definitely do now. But at some points, you will go through a lonely period, and it will be difficult. But rest assured that once you find that friend, having built up the courage and love for self, having built up the courage to be alone and to getting to know yourself, that friendship will flourish even more because you are more of yourself. And that friend that will come along will have more of you to experience. And hopefully vice versa. Push on, push through. And brothers, stay strong. It's not easy, but you can do it. You can do it. This is Corbin Conversations. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.